up for discussion. I'm so thrilled you're with us today. Whether you're tuning in for the very first time or you're a loyal listener who never misses an episode, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our heart for showing up, for being curious, and for caring about the people and the causes that make this world a better place. Today's episode is one I've genuinely been looking forward to because we are going to talk about something that touches millions of families across the country, and we have an incredible guest to share and unpack all that it includes. In today's episode, we're going to cover a few things, the inspiring work done through Special Olympics of Oklahoma and disability advocacy, what life looks like when you truly invest in inclusion and empowerment, what Down syndrome really means, the facts, the joy, the challenges, the triumphs, and how you can get involved and make a real difference in your own community. But before we get into all of that, I have a very exciting announcement that I know many of you have been waiting for and would like to hear. Because we have something very big coming up in the Down syndrome community, especially here in central Oklahoma. So without further ado, I would like to let you all know about our Down Syndrome Festival and 5K, which is scheduled to take place on Saturday, September 26th at the Myriad Botanical Gardens. We are going to have a great day with celebration, community, movement, and pure joy. And this event is open to everyone, runners, walkers, families, first-timers, even seasoned race veterans. So you can register a team, and you can do that online. You can also sign up to run the 5K, so lace up those sneakers and hit the course. Every step you take raises awareness and shows our Down syndrome community that you are seen, they are valued, and they are celebrated. You can participate in our awareness walk if you're not a runner, so that's no problem at all. You can join the awareness walk and stroll alongside hundreds of supporters who believe in inclusion and love and support for people with Down syndrome. The festival takes place after the walk and the races, so stick around for live music. We'll have some self-advocates doing some talent shows, food, activities for the kids, community booth, and so much more. So again, join the festival and 5K. You can register your team, sign up to run. That website is dsfestivaland5k.com. You can sign up today and get involved. This is going to be our 32nd year to host the Down Syndrome Walk and Festival. So please join us. And again, all the details will be posted on this episode, and you can go to dsfestivaland5k.com. All right, now let's get to the heart of today's episode. I have a very special guest with us. She is a very familiar face to the Down syndrome community and not a stranger to our individuals. So she actually used to work for us for a while. And I would like to say I kind of spearheaded her into the next job. But
I'd say so.
Please welcome Grace Simpson from Special Olympics Oklahoma. Grace, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. So Grace, we are just so honored to have you here and all the exciting things that you've been doing with Special Olympics. And I know you've moved up in the Special Olympics Oklahoma staffing. So tell us a little bit about what you do there.
Yeah, so I am the development director, and I do all sorts of fundraising. So when you're talking about the festival, I'm very familiar with those kinds of things.
And you'll be there.
I will. So yeah, I just do a lot of the fundraising efforts to help support our over 12,000 athletes and unified partners across the state.
Gosh, that's so incredible.
It's awesome.
So you're the development director, and I know you probably are on the road a lot.
Yes. I work in Oklahoma City. Our office is in Tulsa, and I am in between all the time, other sides of the state. It's a lot of driving, but it's fun.
Yeah, especially, just knowing the purpose and what Special Olympics means, and to so many, because how long has Special Olympics been going on in Oklahoma?
Yes, so we started in 1969, and so we've been trucking it for a long time, and we're just excited about the trajectory.
Yep. Yeah, that's so incredible. I know all of our kids are gearing up.
Yes.
We have special Olympics coming up in May.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what's coming up in May.
Yeah, so we have our summer games coming up. We host this every year, and it's kind of what people think of when they think of Special Olympics.
Yep.
So throughout the year, our athletes are participating in over 175 events across the state, preparing for summer games.
175
I know, isn't that crazy?
My daughter's just in 2.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so it's all over the state. They are practicing, preparing, gearing up, technically qualifying and competing, but our mission is all about inclusion and equal opportunities, so we don't turn anybody away. Like that is not something that we want to do. So they're gearing up. We're expecting over 5,500 unified partners and athletes. Oh, wow. And then all their families, all their coaches, all their friends, over 1,300 volunteers so far, with many more spots still to fill. So we're getting ready to take over Stillwater for a week, and it's going to be a blast.
Wow, we'll be there, so I'm so excited. What about, what kind of drew you to Special Olympics?
Honestly, DASCO, to be completely honest.
See, I told you.
It's true. It's true.
Catapulted you that way.
I grew up an athlete, have just always had a passion for sport. And when I was an intern here in college, just advocating for people with disabilities just kind of grabbed onto my heart, and being able to combine both of those passions of sport and advocacy has just been my dream. And it's kind of crazy to say that I'm here at that point in my life, because I kind of thought that was like a pipeline dream, but it has been a blessing being able to be mentored by you guys and kind of grown up and then launched into Special Olympics. I wouldn't have done it any other way.
So kind of talk a little bit about, for the listener out there, how, if they were to get involved in Special Olympics, how do they do that? Because we do get phone calls here quite frequently. How old do you have to be? And my school doesn't do that, or so what do they do? What does a family need to do to get involved?
So I'm sure, as you're aware, with inclusion, we don't ever want to turn anybody away, so we have ample opportunities and different ways that you can get involved. If your school's not participating, that is totally fine. We've got community teams. Technically you have to be 8 or older to participate in what you would think of as a competition, but we have what was formerly known as Stars of the Future, now called Young Athletes. That's for our young kiddos. And it is a time for them to just kind of learn to engage and have those social skills grown while developing the motor skills of like kicking, throwing, the things that you will eventually need in Special Olympics.
What age does that group start at?
Technically 2. But our the staff person that's over that says you can come as soon as you're out the womb. Like, you are welcome to come. It is probably one of my favorite things.
Do they come like little get-togethers and competitions? Yes. How often are those?
That is a great question. It kind of depends on the area. So our state for Special Olympics is split up into 14 areas, and each area is responsible for scheduling their own events like that. I know Oklahoma City specifically has probably one once a month, maybe a little bit less frequently than that. All of this stuff you can find on our website, soak.org, but we'll also have some at Summer Games. We're expecting over 200 athletes for young athletes. It's going to be so cute. I
know, how fun.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
So it's going to be fun. If you are interested in volunteering, we always need volunteers, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yes.
But if you want to sign your athlete up, that's my main goal in life, is to get as many of our athletes signed up as possible and competing, whether that's one event you do once a year. That is still one life that we are impacting, and we're growing and learning those motor skills like we talked about, but also having friends and family that are invested in those kids' lives and those adults' lives. It's second to none. So
it is a lot of fun.
Always ways to get involved.
I mean, there's not a frowning face when you go to Special Olympics in Stillwater. It's always a great time. The kids totally enjoy it, and talk a little bit about parents that are gearing up to go. Like, what are some key points that we could share with them on to prepare?
Yes. So prepare for lots of people. It's gonna be crowded, but I know safety is a lot of concern for a lot of families and just communities in general. And we have the top security team we could ever imagine having. We've got law enforcement officers from across the state that will be coming in to help support security. But just a lot of fun too. We have Olympic Village. It's very similar to what you would see on TV with traditional Olympics. We're having bounce houses this year, karaoke. That's a big one.
That is.
We've got like free food out there. We've got a lounge sponsored by Coke, and they're passing out free product. They've got yard games. It's just going to be a giant party. So if you aren't involved and want to just come see what it's about, definitely recommend spending the day up there. Check out Olympic Village. Go watch some friends compete. But we're basically taking over Stillwater. We've got competitions all over Oklahoma State, but also at the high school, and then a couple of other areas in Stillwater. So it's going to be so fun. It's my favorite event of the year.
It's one of mine too, besides the festival.
Yeah, of course.
But so tell us a little bit about, we have opening ceremonies. Like What does all of that involve, and where does it take place?
So similar to traditional Olympics that you see on TV, we do a really big opening ceremonies where we bring a flame of hope in. And so our law enforcement partners across the state help carry that flame all the way down from Chickasha and Tulsa and other areas in the state. And they literally run on 2 feet from those areas to Stillwater on Wednesday of summer games. And so that's like the purpose of the ceremony, is to kick off the games, light the torch and the cauldron, which we're unveiling a new one this year.
Nice.
So it's going to be really fun, but it's just kind of a way for us to celebrate, kick off the week. There's some competitions that have happened already by the time we do that, but
Yeah.
it's at summer games, my favorite thing that we do.
What time does the opening ceremonies take place?
So it's actually been bumped up this year, 30 minutes.
Okay.
So the doors open at 6. The ceremony actually starts at 7 instead of 7:30 this year. We've got officers from across the state that are rappelling from the
Yes,
things up
that's
at the
so
top.
cool.
It's so fun. We've got some award announcements for athlete family of the year, different things like that. And it's just a time to come together, celebrate, and kick off the week.
And it takes place at Gallagher Iber, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know this is always a huge thing for Special Olympics, parking. Any tidbits you can give about parking?
I wish we could solve the parking problem, because I know it's an issue. They've thankfully finished a lot of the construction, not all of it, at the high school.
Oh, nice.
So Stillwater High School should be a tiny bit better. We're still dealing with construction, but hopefully next year that'll be all solved. We unfortunately can't recommend parking, but the campus police and everybody there knows we're there.
Yeah.
So they know that we just need to be patient. We need to get there plenty of time in advance.
I think that's
prepared
key.
for it. Yes.
Yeah, arrive early, like
Yes.
an hour before your events are
Yes.
scheduled is kind of what our coaches tell us.
Yeah.
And I know we are mainly over in the track and field, but I appreciate the fact that you have law enforcement to block the streets.
Yes.
To make sure our athletes are safe. But I'm glad. So will the track and field be parking across the street or now down by the new
Not
lot?
down there quite yet, but
Okay.
they're almost done. They are, if I remember correctly, they are in the process today of tearing down a building on the other side of the track.
Okay.
So I think there should be some parking over there, but everything is in the coach's final packets that they should be sending out to all the participants and everything. So just ask questions too. If you're not sure, we're there to help you. We are there not to make your lives harder.
Right.
So if anything we can answer and help with.
And that's a good point. So when you're there, how do they get, is there an app or how do they respond to things? How do we can get, to someone?
Yeah. So we have a WOVA app that we use. And in that final packet that every athlete should get is the code to sign up for our event. And on that, you'll get weather reminders if there's weather issues.
Nice. We have those.
Yes, we do. Fingers crossed that we don't this year.
Yeah.
But the McDonald's lunch is always a big thing on Thursday, so there will be reminders about that. We're working on an interactive map to show you what is available at Olympic Village, so you can plan ahead if you're a little bit concerned about what all is there. So the app is the biggest thing I would recommend getting invested in and signed up for, download it, all of that good stuff. Because that'll be it's the easiest way for us to communicate with you.
Right.
So.
Fastest and easiest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And if there is an issue, you can just put a message in the WOVA app.
Yes. There should be a direct line to our team at headquarters that then can contact the necessary person to help address the issue.
But you have staff at all the events.
Yes,
so
we do.
Will they be in a color-coded shirt or just look for those in the Special Olympics hats?
Yeah, color-coded shirts is the best way. It kind of depends on venue, what color they wear. We try as a staff to wear the same color every year, but it just kind of depends on what everybody puts on that morning. But the venue directors and all of the volunteer staff will be very clearly marked, so you can ask. And if they don't know, they should be directing you to the right person to ask. So
okay, so I have to ask this because this is probably one of the most important things.
Yes,
the medals.
Yes.
Tell us about them.
They're so fun.
I mean, how many do y'all have to order in the process?
Gosh, that's a great question.
Thousands, I'm sure.
Oh, I think our last order was 30,000 medals.
Oh
for the
my
year.
gosh.
Yes. And we don't even do medals for everything. A lot of the area competitions do ribbons.
Right.
So Our office is basically medals. That's pretty
Yeah.
much all we have there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is, if you are not sure about Special Olympics, if you're not sure it's for you and your child, I would recommend going to any competition and watch the awards.
Yes.
That is where, like, it makes me emotional just thinking about it. That is where you see the joy that's like our whole purpose, is to be able to provide that joy and an opportunity that they wouldn't get otherwise.
I think, the medal means more than just hardware.
Yeah.
It's really, I accomplished this, and I did this with confidence, and independency.
Yes.
I mean, and I think that's what's so important to our kids. I mean, I know when Kirsten gets hers, she earned it, and she knows she did. And I think that's what's so great. Yeah. And I think that's what's so great and purposeful about Special Olympics. Yeah. It touches on so many things for our kids to, have that feeling of, I did this.
Exactly.
I mean, just like the quote.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I appreciate the fact that, it took a trailblazer to put this together. I don't know if you've read her book,
I have not yet, but it's on my list.
It's really good. And there's a part in there where when she passed away, all the Special Olympic athletes that she was close to came in and threw their medals.
Oh my God.
In her coffin, like near her burial site. I thought, how great is that? Yeah, I'm going to go out on a legacy like that.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's, how much those medals mean for them to, that was their way of saying thank you for letting me, be a part of something. So, we don't think they're small, but a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they ran a track meet. Oh, no, they didn't.
They ran a track meet.
They ran a 100-meter dash.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to see the smiles and the expressions and the joy, I mean, that's really, what it's all about. And I can't think of a better opportunity for our kids, especially those with Down syndrome, because
I know
we love celebrating our individuals. I'm trying to figure out all the sessions to go to watch some of our kids and family. I'm getting texts like, are you coming to this? Are you coming to that? So
that's been the hardest part of
work out.
Yes,
that would be helpful.
Definitely recommend. And it's fun too, you can post your pictures of competing and see your friends. Like if you don't get to go out to somebody's competition, you can then see their, it's just so
kind of a big sharing.
Yeah.
So Grace, is there one story that stands out, or maybe a couple that you're like, this was a good heartstringer?
Yes. It's not summer games related, but we, if you're involved in a UCS school, which is Unified Champion School, that means that Special Olympics is basically ingrained into your school district. And if it's not that way yet, call me and we will make sure to get your school involved.
Okay.
But there's a pair down in Idabel who got connected through Unified Sports, and you always think, okay, well, they're just friends in school. Like, she's a great cheerleader for her in school, but then they part their ways after school. But this duo has made such a connection through Special Olympics and Unified Sports that they go to movies on the weekends together, just the pair. And it is...
That's so awesome.
That is even when I was in high school, that's not something that we did, and I wish it was, because then I think my passion would have grown a lot earlier. But to see that is the standard now in a lot of school districts for our athletes to be fully included in every single moment that our traditional students are participating in, makes it so much better. It's setting them up for success all through life. The unified partners and the athletes, because that's just the standard. And if we start in the schools, imagine what it'll be like.
Yeah, for them working, just working and doing things. I know, I like some of the individuals here at the DASCO office. They're like, we're Olympic athletes. Yeah. And they are.
They are. They really are.
I don't shy away from them saying that. And when we talk about them, like, she's an Olympic athlete. Yeah. So I know today we kind of focused a lot about talking about the summer games, but tell the listener a little bit about other opportunities, because we have winter games and there's other sporting events, and then there's nationals coming up.
Yes.
So share with us some of that.
So in Oklahoma, we do 4 state competitions, very similar to summer games. Summer games is the largest one we do.
Right.
And it's the largest amateur sporting event in North America, which is so fun to say. I love a small brag.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is also the largest Special Olympics event in North America. So summer games or USA games that's coming up that several of our friends are going to.
Yeah.
Our summer games is bigger than that. And we do it with 12 paid staff. So you can imagine how important volunteers are. And that is what I would push till I die.
Yes.
We always need volunteers. And I know that that is not always on the minds of our families, which is totally fine because you have your child to take care of, your adult to take care of. And if you want to get them involved, that's my biggest thing, is get them involved in your area. So like I mentioned, we have those 14 areas.
Yes.
They compete across the state in, like I said, 175 events, but they will do like a regional track meet that I'm sure Kirsten does.
Yes, she does.
Addie Trout does swimming with her area, like different competitions like that. If you guys want to just like check out one in your area, we have so many events. I think this spring we had like 120 events from March to April, maybe February to April, to get ready for summer games. So we're always doing stuff. We're always practicing. We're always competing. And it's not at the state competition level. So it feels a little more reasonable and attainable to be able to participate in something like that. And then gears you up for summer games. So.
But in the winter, there's bowling and bocce.
Yeah, we offer over 20 sports throughout the year. Nice. In the fall, we do a fall games and a state soccer tournament. We're in the middle of trying to figure out dates for that and the details, but
is soccer new?
No, we do it in Tulsa, so it's not necessarily
in Oklahoma City
known as much on the Oklahoma City side, but we take over Owasso Soccer Complex, and it's a whole day ordeal. We had our record of 90 teams out last year.
What?
And that, I mean, you need a lot of athletes on each team, so you can imagine what that was like. But, and I'm biased about soccer, but
you're a soccer player.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Well, and I think recently tennis has been added.
Yes.
And cheerleading.
Yes. Cheerleading's one of my favorite new ads.
It's unified cheerleading.
Yes.
I know we have some athletes that have inquired about that. I feel like there's now, it's not just, 4 or 5 things. Or basketball was a big thing. I feel like there's something for everybody now. And golf was added several years ago, and we have some really good golfers as well. So I like the diversification for sure, and it seems like we're meeting the needs of all the individuals, and that's what's so fun. But like you said, Special Olympics has a nice special place in my heart. But so for the listeners out there, if they want to get connected, what should they do?
You can visit our website. It's sook.org, or email me, grace@sook.org, and we will get you plugged in. We will literally never turn you away. So we will find something that works for you. If you're wanting to volunteer, get connected with a community team. Maybe your school's involved and they're not sharing that information with you. We will advocate for you. We will go in and figure out how to get you involved with that team.
Nice.
We are there to be your biggest support and make life easy for you guys. So whatever we can do to help is our whole goal.
That's so awesome. Grace, thanks so much for sharing with us today. And for those out there, look up the Special Olympic Games in Oklahoma, or in Stillwater coming up. And the dates are?
The 13th or the 15th.
Yep. And Special Olympics Oklahoma will be hosting those in Stillwater. And look for the opening ceremony, and it starts at 7 this year.
7 o'clock on May 13th.
So we'll be having people flying from the rafters, it sounds like.
Literally. I think the dog mascot from Norman Police Department will be there as well. So it's really fun.
Yeah. And all the special forces will be out.
Exactly.
That's pretty incredible. But they can follow you on social media as well.
Yes. If you type in Special Olympics Oklahoma, will pop up on everything. So.
Okay. So all of the social media feeds.
Yes.
So be sure and check those out. But again, just look for Grace. The website is
sook.org.
And find your team. Go root for everybody, because it's for ages 8 and up.
Yep. And even if you're not 8 and up, come hang out at Young Athletes on Wednesday. I believe it's in the morning on Wednesday, May 13th. So it is. I cry at that almost every single year when I get to go. It is so much fun.
I can't not get emotional at Special Olympics. So
it's a big party. It's basically a week-long party.
They work so hard.
Yes.
And like you said, seeing those medal presentations is so heartwarming, and they're so excited.
So excited.
And it's just such a joy. Grace, thank you so much. This was a great conversation, and thank you for your time, and thank you for what you do and your heart and your passion for people with disabilities. You're really making a huge difference, and we're glad that you're in our corner. So
Me too.
thank you
to
much.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. But thank you so much. And again, listeners, thank you for spending the time with us today. And I hope you walk away from this episode with a little fuller heart and a better perspective of what Special Olympics can do for you. And maybe you can get out there and volunteer. Yeah, they need some volunteers. So look up Grace. But here is the truth. Inclusion is not a trend. Advocacy is not optional. And every single person, regardless of their ability, diagnosis, or circumstance, deserves to be seen, celebrated, and have every opportunity to thrive. And I think that's what Special Olympics definitely does. So just, be there for us. Again, we have our Down Syndrome Festival and 5K. It's not until September. So show up to Special Olympics first, and then you can come to our festival and 5K, whether you want to volunteer, walk, run, or register your team. We would love to have you. It's, again, September 26th at the Myriad Botanical Gardens. But until next time, everybody, thank you. Keep educating, keep empowering, and keep enhancing. We'll see you. Bye.